All right, webheads, it's time to take some notes. We got DC Future State, we got King in Black, we got it all for next week's top 10 most anticipated comic books. Hey, all my webheads out there, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. And fans, I am your host, Mike Spider Slayer, always helping you make decisions on what comic books to buy. And today, guys, we're doing my top 10 most anticipated comic books for next week. That's right, these books are being released January 20th, 2021. And again, hopefully this list helps you make decisions on what comic books to buy. And before we get started, guys, if you want to become a member of Comic Book Corner 2.0, all you gotta do is hit that join button right there on my home screen. It does help support the channel, and I greatly appreciate it. And I want to thank all of you who take the time to watch, comment, subscribe, and do all that great stuff. So let's get started this week with the hot seat, okay? So the hot seat book is kind of funny because I swore I was going to drop this book, but since I tend to give books a little bit more try, I was like, well, why don't I give this one more try? And this one is Batman and Catwoman issue 1. This is the Bat and Cat chapter 2. I'm really on the fence about this book. I really did not enjoy that first issue when it came to this book. The artwork is gorgeous, but I didn't like the multiple story format that they were going with it. And I was like, man, why should I continue this? But you know what? I tend to give books usually more than one issue, so why not give this one another try? So in the comments below, I want to know if you guys are giving this one another try. Did you enjoy this comic book? So this one is 32 pages and it's $5. So I don't even know if it's worth that price tag, but I guess I will make a decision when I actually get to the store, right? All right. So next, let's talk about King in Black. Surprisingly, this particular comic book week, there's not that many King in Black books. There's actually only one. And this goes to one of the better ones. And this is Black Cat. This is issue 2. It's called Queen in Black Part 2. Now, this was pretty cool because the last issue of this, we got to see Felicia actually come up with a game plan to try to rescue Doctor Strange, because they feel like Doctor Strange is a major player in this story and in this war to try to stop Null. And it was kind of cool to see her point of view when the Avengers were being captured and how she interacted with Captain America. Again, this is one of the stories that, if you're following King in Black, you're going to want to pick this up. This is a very enjoyable read. Along with Venom, I think these make for some spectacular issues. So this book is 28 pages and $4, and hopefully this series makes you like Felicia and pick up her regular series when there is no King in Black going on. All right. So now let's move on to the actual countdown, starting with number 10. And number 10 goes to the Avengers issue 41. Now, if Batman and Catwoman weren't on the hot seat, this one would have been on the hot seat. And in fact, it actually was. And then I'm like, you know what? Let's try Bat and Cat once again. So Avengers issue 41 is Enter the Phoenix. This is part 2 of a story where our heroes are forced to do a battle against each other for the new host of the Phoenix, right? Out of all things. And in the first issue, you wound up seeing Captain America and Doctor Doom do battle against each other, and Captain America was victorious. And so far, the Phoenix chose him to be the winner of this. But the frustrating thing about this is you kind of just thrusted into the story, and it's just such an awkward tournament. Like, why does the Phoenix want to pick somebody? And it's kind of weird how this story is set up. It wasn't the best read. It's just the pacing is weird, and it's just like the Phoenix is transferring itself from one host to the other host while they're battling, and then it's just weird. I don't know. It's just kind of there, and so I don't know. I guess maybe we'll see what happens with it going forward, and Yeah, that's a Phoenix Force story for you. There's not much to it at all, really. All right, so this one is 28 pages and $4. All right, next we're going to be talking about a new #1. This is Iron Fist. This is issue 1. You know, I'm not a huge fan of Iron Fist, but this could be quite interesting. I love the cover of this book and whatnot. We haven't seen an Iron Fist book in a while, so there's not a lot of Marvel books that are coming out this particular week. So I'm like, new #1. Why not try it out? We'll see what's in store here for this one. But most Iron Fist books don't hang around, or they're mini series. This one is 28 pages and $4. And if you're investing in a lot of books, there's got to be something here that's got to catch you, right? So we'll see what happens with it. All right, next, moving on to #8, and I dropped this after the first issue when it first came out, but yes, just like I said, with all the X titles after Ten of Swords, I'm going to give them a try because they start new story arcs, right? And this one is Cable issue 7. It's called A Tale of Two Timelines, and it's reeling from the Ten of Swords. Cable turns back to the matter of missing mutant babies, a matter he knows a thing or two about. That's the description that it gives. So again, I wasn't a huge fan of the first story arc. I'm not a huge fan of the artwork, but I'm going to give all these titles a try. I don't think I'm going to be reading New Mutants anymore. I want to know which X books you are reading after the Ten of Swords going forward here. This book is 28 pages, and this is $4. All right. So coming in at #7, and you'll be surprised. You'll be like, Mike, why is this book on your list if you've already read it? And this is The Walking Dead issue 7. Now, I've kept King in Black. I've kept DC Future State separate from this list because I wanted to get the spotlight on some of these other books, because we all know that DC Future State and King in Black are coming out, but they're segmented, okay? So The Walking Dead issue 7, and this is a time where this is the beginning of a new story arc. We get to see, obviously, what happened with Shane at the end of the last issue, and we get to see our heroes moving forward here, okay? This is a pretty good series, no matter how many times you've read it, right? It's amazing, and seeing it in color is awesome. Seeing the script in the background when Robert Kirkman wrote it is absolutely awesome, and seeing those little changes that the deluxe offers is pretty cool as well. So I like it. I can never get enough of The Walking Dead, and being that it is a lighter week within Marvel and Image as well, why not say, hey, The Walking Dead Deluxe is out there as well, right? All right, so let's move forward to #6, and we have another X title. This is X-Force issue 16, Terrors of the Deep. Forge, Wolverine, and Quentin Quire brave the depths of the sea, where a deadly discovery reveals a dark side of Krakoa. So this is something that actually was not explored yet when it comes to Krakoa, right? The underwater part of Krakoa. I think that's kind of neat to kind of go into that and see what's there, and maybe what mutants possibly live there or whatnot. So that's cool that they're investigating that. That definitely has me intrigued. This is something different. And this one's 28 pages, and this one is $4. All right, so moving along to the top 5, we have another independent that a lot of people are enjoying, and the end of the last issue of this got me hooked once again. This goes to Scumbag. This is issue 4, done by Rick Remender. It says Jazz Apple Armageddon Part 4. So the Scumbag, if you haven't read this book as of yet, is a book where we get this complete loser. He literally is a scumbag, and he accidentally injected this serum into his arm. It's like a super soldier serum, and now he's gotten chosen to, like, I guess, save the world. And I can't say it's a super soldier serum exactly, because it doesn't physically make him stronger, but it does give him abilities, and he doesn't know how to access those abilities yet. And he's been chosen to kind of save New York, I guess it was, or a building, and now he's getting chosen to do other missions. he's like a druggie, he's a user, and he had all these stupid demands. And now that he accomplished what he accomplished in the first, couple issues, they granted him all this access to like drugs and like a flying car and like these crazy like sex dolls and that fly the car for him. It's just weird and off the wall. It's crazy zany book. And so at the end of it, I was like, okay, so now I want to know what he does with this flying car and all this stuff. So it's funny. Check it out if you haven't yet. That's Scumbag issue 4, 32 pages, $4. All right, next, moving on to number 4. This is DC's Dead Planet issue 7. This is a conclusion to the series. Now, the original Deceased, I felt, was a much more solid series, in my opinion. But still, this is still a great read. It's got some great character moments in there. The artwork is fantastic. We've gotten to see our heroes try to come up with a cure for this anti-life equation. And now, all of a sudden, we've seen the villains come up with their, cure for the dead, and they've come out with these Amazon robots to try to destroy all the dead. So now at the same time as you got this virus this cure for the virus that has been created, we get these robots being released, and there's happens to be at the same time, and now there's this huge fight that's going to happen at the end of the issue. Great story. Tom Taylor writes it. If you haven't read it yet, wait till the trade comes out. It's a good read. Actually, I would read the first trade first and then read this one next. The whole DC line has been really pretty phenomenal. All right, so moving on to your top 3. This is Maestro, War and Pax, issue 1. So this one's written by Peter David, and I really enjoyed the first one. You basically got to see Bruce Banner, Hulk, learn how he became the Maestro, how he took over the throne, who the last Maestro was, and now I guess you get to see his world domination, how he gets to that point, so how he continues his rise in power. So I think that's actually really cool, and I really enjoyed it. I thought the artwork was really good in the last series also. This is definitely a recommend read, especially if you loved old school Peter David Hulk. You get to see that story continue to be told. This is 36 pages, and this is $5. All right, so moving on to number 2. We have another independent. This is Stillwater, issue 5. This is such a great book by Chip Zdarsky about this city where you can't die, you can't get sick, you don't age. We have our main character who's actually stuck in this city. He can't escape or they'll kill him. He just recently got reunited with his mother, which was kind of cool, and you got to find out why he was actually thrusted out into the mainland. Such a great original story. I really enjoy it. The artwork is a lot of fun too. Can't wait for the next installment for this. This is $4. All right. So before we get to number 1, we got to talk about DC Future State. What books do we have out for that this week? Well, the first one we have is Shazam, issue 1. So if you're a fan of Shazam, this might be one that you pick out. This one is 32 pages and $4. Now, guys, I just want to let you know, a lot of people's excuse out there says that, the DC Future State books are way too expensive. Now, I agree with you. Some of them are very expensive, but not all of them are $7. So I will give you the price of these comics. So if there was a couple that you are thinking of, then maybe this might not break the bank for you. Okay, so this one again is Shazam, issue 1. And I guess Billy Batson is missing in this particular series. So where has he been? So maybe people are looking for him. What's going on? What happens? I don't know, but we'll see what happens. The first wave of books, I know people have had mixed emotions about. I've enjoyed them. I wouldn't say they're the best books, but it's an event that's kind of going on for right now, and then we'll see what happens going forward in March. The next one has me kind of interested. This one is Catwoman. This is issue 1. This book is 32 pages, and this one is $3.99. And it seems like we have obviously the vigilantes are illegal and the magistrate is in charge and he's in command of this bullet train, and I guess Catwoman has to steal this train. I don't know. It sounds pretty interesting and different. I think she has a different type of suit where it's magnetic and it sticks to this train. It just sounds off the wall zany and a lot of fun. There's no additional stories. There's no additional pages. So again, it's just your regular price point comic book. The next one I think a lot of people are looking forward to. This one is Superman Worlds of War. This is issue 1. Now, this one is going to be more money because there's additional stories to this one. So, Superman Worlds at War Part 1, Midnighter, Black Racer, Mr. Miracle Part 2. And the Mr. Miracle story Part 1 took place in Superman Metropolis. So if you want to read that story, you got to read this story. You like how they kind of catch you in there, and that's what I don't like. We don't need all these additional stories. Just have the main story. We don't need all that other stuff. So this one is 64 pages, and this is the $8 book. This is the most expensive one for that particular week. So again, if there's something there that you don't want, whether it's Catwoman or Shazam, and you want to pick up Superman, well, you got to be prepared to pay the extra money for this. And unfortunately, there might be stories there that you might not want to read. All right. So the next one is probably one that we might want to read. This one is Immortal Wonder Woman. This is issue 1, because obviously if you read the pages of Death Metal in issue 7, we saw that Wonder Woman went elsewhere and she's part of something for the future. And we don't know what that is yet, but maybe this book will give you that definition here. Okay. And this one is a $6 book with 48 pages. Now, this has more than one story as well. This just has Immortal Wonder Woman Part 1 and Nubia Part 1. So there's 2 separate stories in there. Maybe that second story has something to do with Wonder Woman. I don't know yet. But again, I think this is a must read because we need to know what's going on with Diana in the future. Okay. And then the next one we have is the Bat Family books. So we have Nightwing. This is issue 1. This is a regular priced book at 32 pages, $4. So I know a lot of people are going to want to know what's going on with Dick Grayson in this future world. Okay, so this is definitely a must read. And then last but not least, of course, we have the next Batman issue 2. Where this one is going to be $8, unfortunately, as well. And what I don't agree with when it comes to the next Batman is I think we got the least amount of story out of all the DC Future State books when it comes to a main character, and then we got those backstories, and I hate that. That is very frustrating. We got 20 pages of the next Batman, and here we're going to probably get another 20 pages, and now you have to read the backup stories, which are Batgirls Part 1, Gotham City Sirens Part 1. So again, you might be interested in those stories. Some people might be interested, obviously, in with Stephanie Brown and what's going on in there, and oh my God, who's the and Cassandra Cain, right? And then Gotham City Sirens. Like, you might like those characters, and that's fine, right? But I would love to see more of the next Batman himself than just 20 flipping pages. Give me 32 pages at least of that main story. So there is all your DC Future State books. Next, we're going on to number 1 most anticipated comic of the week, and that goes to King in Black issue 3. So pretty good series, right? I felt like a couple of the tie-ins are getting pretty good, like Black Cat, Venom. Okay, I think they're good. The King in Black series is pretty good. We've obviously got to see what happened to Eddie Brock at the end of the last issue. We've gotten to see some, what Dylan's power is and how he can be a game changer in things, how actually Iron Man can kind of be a game changer. Stephen Strange, if they can get him back, he can be a game changer. Even if you read Guardians of the Galaxy tie-in King in Black, we can see Peter Quill be a game changer now as well. So things are starting to take shape and form how our heroes might come together to eventually destroy Null. Now, how it gets to that point will be quite interesting. There's still a decent amount of story to tell, and I can't wait for it. I am in for the long haul for this. I'm on for the ride. Hopefully you guys are too. And this book is 44 pages, and this one is $5. So, there you guys have it. There is my top 10 most anticipated comic books for January 20th, 2021. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And if you like this video, guys, make sure you give this video a like, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit that bell. I want to know your list in the comments below. And if you like my content, don't forget, I have more content right here you can click on. Click on it. Yeah, just go ahead, click on it right now. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Bye.